Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic. And today we are diving back into Historic because there's a bunch of awesome new cards to be playing with, and we got to play with those. I also wanted to make sure they're bringing in some Strixhaven cards, and so I wanted to combo off with Pestilent Cauldron with this deck. The main part that we're comboing off here is the second ability, pay 1 to tap it. Each opponent mills cards equal to the amount of life that you gain this turn. If you can mill an opponent for 40 cards, that basically will win you the game if you can gain 40 life. So how are we gaining that much life in one turn? Well, I'll tell you right after today's sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by Dragon Champions. If you're like me and need a break from Magic, but still want to play a good strategy game, this is the perfect game for you. I love that in this game you get to assemble your team, and that team changes for each different game mode that you play. And there are tons of modes to play. There's story campaigns, arena, tournaments, events, challenges, tower, and so on. And I'm a sucker for a good story campaign, and this game definitely has that. And one of the things I really liked about this game is that even after a few days of playing this, I was still finding new things to do. A lot of mobile games just give you one real way to play the game, while this one gives you tons of variants, and I absolutely love that. And I actually found that it was best to be jumping back and forth between the different game modes to be able to grow my team faster, as well as grow the different types of champions that you can find with it. Game links for Android and iOS are down in the description. But what's really cool is the developers actually gave me a promo code to give to you guys, and they let me choose which hero you guys will get. So if you enter the code JEFFGIFT, you will get all of this stuff and my favorite hero, Corcoran. He's a perfect hero for dealing AoE damage and stunning the entire team. Thank you again to Dragon Champions for sponsoring today's video. Without sponsorships like this channel would not survive. So support them by downloading the game with the link down below and using the promo code JEFFGIFT, and I will definitely appreciate it. So we got some sweet new cards from the Strixhaven set Mystical Archive section, whatever that is called anyway, but we got Weather the Storm and we got Tendrils of Agony, which will storm off. So whenever you cast a spell, copy it for each spell that was cast before this turn. That also includes opponent's spells, by the way. Then you choose new targets for the copies. So we already have some pretty sweet synergies just by having lots of copies of stuff. We have Professor Onyx, which can kind of go off with this. If there's a bunch of extra copies on the stack, then we gain a bunch of life. We get to deal more damage with this and get extra copies of Tendrils of Agony, which target player loses 2 life and we gain 2 life. That's a good way to gain some life. Well, we also have Weather the Storm, which is just pay 2 and you gain 3 life. And this is a fun storm card. It's good to keep you in the game, but typically it's not a win con because you're not actually dealing damage to the opponent's face. But when we have Professor Onyx out there, it lets us have extra copies of Tendrils of Agony anyway. And if we have things like Pestilent Cauldron that can land on the battlefield, then we have a way to be milling out the opponent like crazy and either get them down to where they have like 10 permanents left, or we do just mill them out completely. If we get a high enough storm count, then we can kind of go off with this. So how do we get a high enough storm count? Because we don't have tons of cheap spells or anything like that. You're going to run out of mana at some point. We have Bolas' Citadel, which when we're gaining that much life, as long as we can keep hitting stuff off the top of the stack, then Bolas' Citadel will help us continue to play out spells and rack up our storm count and deal a ton of damage to face. Dealing tons of damage to face with Professor Onyx or our Vito, or we mill them out with Pestilent Cauldron. I also wanted to have just enough mana to be able to cast a few things from hand, because there are times that with Bolas' Citadel, you end up having things that come to hand instead, or, because we have Bond of Flourishing, we have some card draw, we have different ways to get things to hand with this, that I wanted to make sure we had enough mana to be able to cast things that we needed to from hand and off the top of the stack to make sure that this deck works out. We also got a new card from Historic Anthology 5, Into the North, which does let us kind of play around a couple of things with our mana base. Search your library for a snow land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, and shuffle. And because Nissa wants to have forests on the battlefield, we got Woodland Chasm in the deck, which we can go search up. We also have Faceless Havens, just have another blocker or finisher for us with this deck. And we, of course, can hit all of our snow lands here as well. So it's just a way to ramp it growth on turn 2 for us. With our removal, it's actually a little bit interesting. We have to be able to cast stuff that will always have targets, and because Assassin's Trophy can target opponents' permanents, so their lands as well, they're going to have lands, we can target those, and so we can always have a target with Assassin's Trophy with this deck. That way we can guarantee play it off the top of the library with Bolas' Citadel. I also bring in 1 copy of Culling Ritual. Every once in a while this is a big enough spell, an opponent has enough permanents on the battlefield that we can actually play out a Bolas' Citadel from it on turn 4, or a Professor Onyx or a Nissa. And so it's a pretty sweet card, but I didn't feel like I had enough space to fill in a bunch of them, especially if that's going to be meaning that we play a couple of them off the top and are down 8 life before we get to cast any other spells. That can end up losing us the game. So this is a pretty janky combo, but it's pretty sweet when it goes off. So let's go ahead and dive into the gameplay, see how it does for us, see if we can pull it off, and here we go. Wish me luck. All right, so I just played a few games, and I decided that I really needed to add in the Culling Ritual. There's just way too many aggro decks out there, and it's consistently been able to let us, like, if I had it in hand, it would have let me cast things like Bolas' Citadel and stuff in the previous matchup. So we're going to go ahead and... I changed up the deck. The deck list will be down in the description below as far as what I ended up changing. Ditcher Supplier. All right, opponent is reanimating, I would assume. Pass the turn. Assassin's Trophy, pretty good removal for that stuff. Culling Ritual will be nice as well. We do want ramp or ways to find more land still. We want to get up to these guys. Down to 19. He's got nothing else. Yeah, we're not going to use Assassin's Trophy on him. But hitting a land there, or Bond of Flourishing is really nice. Hopefully hitting a land. Tapped land. No, we don't need it. We have Faceless Haven online now with that. Although we still need 3 black sources for Bolas' Citadel, so a little bit awkward. Grizzly Salvage, yep. Fills the graveyard a little bit more. Egon, God of Death is an interesting one. Maelstrom Pulse, okay. So they are going for the Egon. I'm not sure if this is a reanimation or just like... Maybe it is just an all-in Egon type of deck. Let's go with... Just Blooming Marsh tapped. Pass the turn. We can't turn on the Faceless Haven this way, but it's fine. Throne of Death. That means that we can use that with... We can kill that with Culling Ritual. Grizzly Salvage. Alright, there's the Imperial Rights. Swings in. Down to 21. So we want to hold up an Assassin's Trophy for them bringing back... What is it? Doom Whisper? Oh man, I don't have an Overgrown Tomb, so I can't actually do that here. But a Nissa lets us basically guarantee a Bolas' Citadel for the next turn, so... I think we go for Nissa instead here. And let's go Blooming Marsh. They actually don't have white mana for the Imperial Rights. And Dot the Triome is probably their main source of white mana, so they're turn away from it. So they might just take some time to kill something. Do I want it to be a Faceless Haven instead? Yeah, I mean...
Rise, my elemental friend.
So because this says becomes a 4/3, it should override the other become a 0/0 with Nissa. Man, the way that stacks, I'm always confused by. But that means that if I do pay the 3 mana to turn this into that, it becomes a 7/6, I believe, with Vigilance. So I don't think it's a bad thing to put the counters onto a Faceless Haven. We can always attack in first, see what they do, and then add the snow mana. And I believe that these snow-covered forests end up adding extra snow mana for this as well. No, because this just says adds an additional green, not an additional snow green. So, no, it doesn't. So yeah, I don't think they have the Imperial Rights right now. Scarab God. Oh, that's what's going on here. Scarab God is scary. Oh, shout. Titan's Nest. Okay. Professor Onyx could be pretty good here too, just making them sacrifice whatever big thing they end up bringing out. That might be better than Bolas' Citadel, just to kind of let us set up another turn or two and then go off with Citadel. Because we do want this one out there when possible. So they have... Okay, they casting their Imperial Rights, bringing out a Doom Whisperer. Alright, so... Let's play out Professor Onyx and then Assassin's Trophy. Do I have enough mana for that? I have to tap down here to make it happen, I believe. We have black. Really want... So we can go Abundant Harvest and hit a land, and hopefully it's an untapped land. If it's a Blooming Marsh or Woodland Chasm, then it doesn't work. And still untap and go Abundant Harvest. Yeah, let's go Professor Onyx. -3. I'd like to Assassin's Trophy this Titan's Nest. They didn't play out the Indotha Triome, so it's a little bit awkward for them. Okay, how many times are they going to surveil here? Hopefully a lot. That does let them use a lot of stuff with Titan's Nest. Yeah, so we have to try for the Assassin's Trophy here. So I think that we untap a forest with Nissa, use Abundant Harvest. I could also Culling Ritual. Wait, no, I don't have the mana for that. I mean, yeah, with Professor Onyx, we also might just be able to kill him here. So let's go ahead and untap a forest. Attack in. That mills out a little bit more, down to 4. Abundant Harvest, if I can find one more spell. Yeah, I think we try to find black mana because we have 1 green mana floating. Right? Alright, go, no, land. We want land. Oh, darn it. Ah, okay, pass the turn. We didn't find black mana. I don't think there's a way for them to just immediately win here. They do have Coma. That stops the activated abilities, but the triggered ability of Professor Onyx will still work. So as long as we have anything to target Assassin's Trophy, even just casting it will win us the game. Grizzly Salvage. Didn't have the white mana to cast it anyway. Okay, now they do. Did they already play out a land? They played out the Triome already. Yes. And opponent keeps it up. All right, sweet. Well, we got there. We didn't quite storm off. No, we didn't storm off at all. But we did stuff, and it was cool. All right, up against you, and pretty sweet hand here. We have some ways to dig for lands, explore. That's basically all we want to do in the early game. Woodland Chasm, perfect tap land for turn 1. Let's see what we're up against. Jeskai Burn is a possibility here, and kind of a terrifying possibility. Always lead off with ramp while we can into the north. Nice. Pass the turn. Brainstorm. If it is Jeskai Burn, then Weather Storm will be really nice in this matchup. Rituals, or Culling Ritual, also kind of nice. All right, so let's go Bond of Flourishing first, just see what else we can hit here. Professor Onyx. Yeah, we want that. Into the north. Another Woodland Chasm. Pass the turn. It's the only reason we have Woodland Chasms is for into the north, so yeah, we do that. Transmogrify. Oh, yeah. Okay, Villamachus. We can at least Assassin's Trophy that. If we hit land, we have Professor Onyx to kill it as well. Prismari Command. Is this Dragon's Approach version 2, but they just didn't have it? Maybe not. It might just be all in on doing other stuff. War in Mine into the Transmogrify. Pretty sweet stuff. All right, drawing and discarding, trying to figure out what they're doing still. Land off the top would be amazing for this Professor Onyx. Love to get that out there and hopefully stick it. Not so. All right, Culling Ritual can be good for treasures. Let's go with... Let's actually pass the turn, I guess. Because if we want to weather the storm, they start casting lots of spells or whatever. We can Assassin's Trophy and then see if they'll go for other stuff. So yeah, Assassin's Trophy now. Kill the Villamachus. Let them get a land. I would love that land right now. Hopefully they make a lot of treasures so we can Culling Ritual and they forget about them. Do I weather the storm now? No, I guess not. Not unless they cast stuff. Music's Mastery goes for the Time Warp. Alright, so that's an extra spell there for them. Is it worth weathering the storm now? I mean, the whole point is so that we can combo off with these. Gating, you know, some life is still nice. Let's go ahead and go off with it now. Yeah, we have another one in hand, so I'm not as worried. This is mostly just to make sure that our life total is high enough that they're not killing us with a combo the next couple of turns. Villamachus just straight out does it. Culling Ritual at least replaces itself now. As long as they forget to sacrifice the treasure, it can get us up to Professor Onyx, which is the dream. Alright, Culling Ritual. See if they forget about the treasure. They didn't have a chance to respond to the treasure. That was interesting. Alright, well. Culling Ritual, Professor Onyx. Yes. Sacrifice.
You really want to fight me?
That was good. That was good. All right, Bolas is Citadel. We have not found... This is game 5 for me with this deck. I'm not showing the first 3 because they didn't go very well. But, like, I think I found one Bolas' Citadel and wasn't able to cast it. So, come on. But this is, like, one of the only cards that we have as a 4 of in this deck. Experimental Overload. Okay. It's another dude. Time Warp in hand. I don't know if they have the hand, but they do have Transmogrify. Which means they do have Villamachus, yeah. Time Warp is annoying as all get out.
Well, guess you don't need my help.
Alright, well, Blooming Marsh. Pass the turn. Maybe I should have killed him when I had the chance there. Okay, Villamachus. How many of these guys have we killed now? It's been at least, yeah, 3. So they have 1 more in the deck. Alright, pay the 3. They have another miscast. Good. Whew. I mean, yeah, Time Warp and just go off here. Luckily, they didn't have any token generation there. Come on, Bolas' Citadel. You can do it. I believe in you. And Nissa would be also pretty nice just to have a threat on board. Land is something. Pass the turn. Gosh dang it, deck. Come on, deck. You can do it. All right, we have to find a way to deal with 1 more Villamachus, probably. I mean, if they find another Transmogrify as well, that's also pretty spectacular, especially because they should be throwing some stuff to the bottom with Villamachus every time as well, right? It's in for 1, down to 23. Bolas' Citadel. Brainstorm. What does miscast hit? Instant or sorcery, so yeah. If they're running that, I'm guessing they're not running in negate or whatever. It's probably just enough to stop like the ultimatum deck that gets really annoying for the love. Down to 22. They have some sort of spell. Brainstorm. was a quick one. Pass to my turn. Okay, Abundant Harvest at least lets us find a non-land. Yay. It's the turn. All right, how many cards do they have left in their deck? The Pestilent Cauldron actually becomes a very legitimate card for us here. If they start casting lots of stuff, we get the double Weather the Storm into milling them. Like, that becomes a very, very relevant card here for us. Out of 21. Assassin's Trophy. Man, Bolas is flipping Citadel. You can do this. We definitely need more card draw in this deck as well. And we have Bond of Flourishing, we have Explorer, we have, I think I took out the one copy of Harmonize for more Culling Rituals. We have Professor Onyx, and then Bolas' Citadel is the ultimate one. And so, like, that really is, like, the play. Vito. Vito's somewhat interesting. All right, pass the turn. I mean, that's a lot of damage. All right, so Transmogrify. Until they reveal a creature card. I believe Vito's our only creature, right? Yeah, I believe that's our only creature, so it doesn't actually matter. Yeah, okay. Yes. It's the best. All right, come on. Bring it on. Cycle, come on. I want them to cast something so that we can get a bigger Weather the Storm. All right, so if they have a Prismari command here, they cast it, we get two spells, so then we have 3. So we gain 9 life. Yeah, so it's lethal if they do have something here, so sweet. Go for it. Prismari command. I dare ya. I don't think we quite have lethal if we don't have it. Actually, Tendrils of Agony for the next turn. I think gets us there. All right, Weather the Storm. Yes. And then Weather Storm number 2. All right, well, we stormed off. We did win with Storm. Oh, man, Culling Ritual was a huge, huge lifesaver in that matchup again. Yeah, Culling Ritual is a sweet card. We definitely need to hit that every time. And then hopefully find a Bolas' Citadel eventually. All right, up against Norvegisi, and let's see if we can find a Bolas' Citadel. But this is definitely a keepable hand. We have some removal. We have a combo piece that's at least relevant-ish. Both of them, actually. And we get to explore on turn 2. Everything's good in life. Hopefully get to Nissa quicker. All of Blossoms. Blooming Marsh. Let's go ahead and throw out the Pestilent Cauldron. Pass the turn. At the very least, we can discard something and create a 1/1 if we wanted to. If we absolutely need something. Night of Autumn. Well, that's just rude. Do I want to discard anything from hand? Culling Ritual only hits one thing right now. Yeah, I like my hand. It's not as good as a Pest. A Pest is not gonna quite make up for that. Do I throw out Vito? It seems like they're gonna have some removal and stuff. I don't think I do much of anything else here. Yeah, pass the turn. Without the Vito. I don't want to give him ramp right now. It blocks the Night of Autumn. Apparition. For the love. See, these are the decks that where the Culling Ritual becomes awful. Just terrible, because we don't actually end up killing this at all. Pass the turn. Assassin's Trophy now might be worthwhile, at least. Alright, so yeah, Assassin's Trophy. Kill the Apparition. We want to keep our life total high for Bolas' Citadel. So if they cast a bunch of spells on this turn, I will Weather the Storm just to keep our life total a little bit higher. We get to block the Night of Autumn now with a 3/3. This is now something that will add to the Culling Ritual count. So a bunch of 2-drops or whatever. That creates a golem, so it's somewhat fine. So this is Ephemerate deck. It's yeah, definitely an Ephemerate deck. I can gain 9 life here. Get 3 extra mana, so let's pass the turn. Bond of Flourishing. Let's find that flippin' land. It's been really hard to find. All right, Overgrown Tomb. Play it tapped. Pass the turn. We actually will purposely not block this golem so that we can try to have more stuff. There's the Ephemerate. Yep. Ephemerates again. Let's see how many spells they end up casting this turn. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can Culling Ritual and still play Nissa. I can still do that at the very least. I can Culling Ritual and play Bolas' Citadel, but we need to not die. Let's see how many more spells they cast this turn. Down to 17. Because there's going to be things like Charming Prince and whatever else. Fibblethip. Yeah, I was going to say, like, there's a good chance we still get a good amount of stuff from this, for this Culling Ritual. Land. Charming Prince. Alright, yeah, Culling Ritual is sweet here. So good. Oh yeah, one of the golems dies because we did enough damage to it. This gives a +1/+1. Yeah, let's go ahead and Weather the Storm. Gain some life. Hopefully this isn't a counter spell that they're holding up. Let's see, how much mana do I have? So if I play out Nissa, I can untap and play Culling Ritual as well. And then Bolas' Citadel. Actually, do I have enough for Bolas' Citadel then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I do. All right, let's try for it. Yes. Okay, untap Overgrown Tomb. Culling Ritual. And then Bolas' Citadel. That's a big turn. Woo! Come on. Non-land, so he doesn't get our stuff. Yeah, get that. Bolas' Citadel. What a turn! All right, don't have a land off the top. Oh, come on. For the love. All right, no more Night of Autumns. No Night of Autumns. Gosh dang it. Ah! Oh, that's a bunch of poop. All right, they don't quite have lethal for Nissa. Close, though. On 1.
How rude.
Oh, rude. Fibblethip. Yeah, they're going to go really wide here. We get a land off the top. Dang it. This is kind of awkward. They can double block pretty effectively to kill one of our guys. I want their stuff to die, basically, though. Let's go ahead and Faceless Haven. We need to keep black mana on board for another Bolas Citadel, potentially. Down to 8. They can kill our Nissa. If they swing on the land to do that, though, we're in okay shape. Ephemerate, though, brings this back, and it's bad stuff. Oh, they also have flashback. Oh, this is momentary blink is what's going on. Okay, so, whoa. People flip actually matter. I mean, Raven Inspector, I guess. So we know that they have the momentary blink for this splicer. Keep bringing back golems. We get Faceless Haven as well, so we at least get to go wide enough to kill him, or to hit him. But we lose 1 land. How bad is that? And we get them down pretty low. And then if we find a Tendrils of Agony, I think we actually get them. So, yeah, we're going for it. Swing it in. Yeah, because my guess is that they're not going to trade off with the Faceless Haven. They're going to kill the other ones that are out there all the time. Yeah, so they have the Memory Blink. Bring in a 1/1 and a 4/4. And, like, I would love for them to lose this Splicer. He kills there, and that's what I'm feeling like. I feel like they were going to take the 7. And now if we find... Yeah, all we have to find now is Tendrils of Agony, and we win the game. Vito could maybe do it. Dang it, guys. We had it. We did the combo. Like, that was such an amazing turn. Then it all fell apart. Yeah. Double Thip and Master Splicer. Yeah, they went wide enough that we can't get in with the creatures. Again, though, we did what we need. We can top deck. We have several turns to hopefully get to what we need. Well, it's a Citadel. Well. Okie dokie. Land. For the love. Deck. I've hit so many lands the last few turns. This is a bunch of poop. Come on. Oh. Oh my goodness. This is ridiculous. Yeah, now we can do nothing for the next turn. This is kind of pissing me off. By kind of, I mean like, holy crap, this is dumb. Blizz tapped. Pass the turn. Try to protect our life total as much as possible. I think a bunch of golems are coming in this time. So we can block with the Faceless Haven. Yeah, I want them to not be attacking in. That's the best possible thing here. Yeah, absolutely the best. Assassin's Trophy gives us back the Bolas Citadel. Another Culling Ritual would at least be nice. Going for the other Yorion. Okay. Come on, blink that deputy. Let us see what's on top at least. Spellbinder. So take a peek at our hand. Yeah. A little bit of value. Now it gets to trigger again, I believe. Yeah, because that all came back. So good. So good. Alright, my turn. What? For the love. We have the game with just like one right spell. We just need one thing to happen that's good for us. Come on. I mean, we're going to win this with the Tendrils of Agony still, obviously. This is for sure our game, but it's not looking like it. You know what? Let's not use that yet. In case they have like an ephemerate or a way to blink this, they end up killing our Faceless Haven as well. We have plenty of snow lands to bring this back out. Come on, swing with the deputy. Alright, so 20 and a bunch and a half. I think we're dead. Dang it. I just want to know what's at the top of the deck. That was so many lands in a row. Like, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Wizards, for the love, please let us be able to draw after the game is over. You do it on MTGO. You know it's a thing that you can do. It's not that difficult to just let us know what's off the top few cards. Because I want to know, you know? At the end of the game, just for peace of mind, I want to know. Ah, that's annoying. All right, pretty sweet hand here. Keep this. We have some ramp. We have Bond of Flourishing. Into Nissa. Pestilent Cauldron is nice. And a Tendrils in hand is actually... That's a lot of times where we do want it to be. Bolas' Citadel. Okie dokie. Things are working out. Let's hope they keep working out. Need another land. Vault Scourge. Still Overseer. Yeah, okay. Oh man, I just built an artifact deck and I totally forgot about Vault Scourge. What was I thinking? Right, we have to keep hitting our land drops, so get this. We need another black source, but I also want the Nissa online. Assassin's Trophy will be nice. Simply, actually, I think we kill Still Overseer now. Yeah, it gives him a land, but this deck is not running. Doesn't typically need that many lands to go off. Giving him a third one is pretty annoying, but whatever. Culling Ritual would be the absolute best draw. Another Still Overseer. Yeah, come on. Culling Ritual. Down to 19. Jack. Either a land or that. Alright. We can at least chump block with this. Getting rid of something. Maybe a Tendrils of Agony. Pass the turn. So we're taking 6. We'll go ahead and discard now. That gives us 4 cards to draw with. If we draw nothing else, like if we draw something else on the top end here, it's at least the thing that we need to do. Yeah, they didn't give it haste or unblockableness. Yeah, you have to do that beforehand. Alright, let's just gain some life, stop a little bit of damage. Not the worst. For the love. Explore. Draw a card. That's a land. Alright, well, we did a thing. That's the turn. Taking way too much damage here. It took way too long to get there. Yeah, taking 9. Ugh. Down to 7. Culling Ritual off the top. Come on. How am I supposed to deal with this? We either need a Culling Ritual or land to get to Bolas' Citadel to then get to Culling Ritual. Any of those would have been nice.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Now we're going to have to block. Are we still dead even through the blocks? Let's see if they... yeah, it was still Overseer. They get up to 8, so... This actually does have haste, so we can technically block it with the Ginger Brutes. Yeah, I love how people forget to read what Ginger Brute does. It's not just unblockable. This has haste. So maybe they forget to put the counter onto stuff. No, they don't. Alrighty then. Gosh dang it. I don't know what's up with Bolas' Citadel being so difficult to make happen. There is a new card that came with this. Then maybe we can play like a Jund version of this. And have a way to go off. Yeah, Tempered Still. Well, that's fine. You got us, sir. All right. Against Peacemaker. Keep this. Man, we keep having like pretty good hands to start off with, where it's like we should be able to get up to 5-6 mana with these kinds of cards here. Like they should be doing quite swell. Do we do quite swell? Not as often as I'd like. All right, so reanimation deck. Overgrown Tomb tap, pass the turn. This is really hard when we are on the draw. Pestilent Cauldron would be good here, but we're going to be a turn too late if they keep having discard and removal. If they find an Imperial Rights or whatever. So, explore. Okay, this tapped. All right, got up to 4 lands. Bond of Flourishing should help us get to the next little bit. Professor Onyx can kill whatever they bring back, hopefully. Drawing Discovery. If they haven't found an Imperial Rights or anything yet, very surprising. Not an Imperial Rights. Probably something else. So we have at least 1 extra turn. Well, yeah, grab that. Not a Bolas' Citadel. But enough lands to get up to Nissa and then Professor Onyx. Acceptable. Drawing Discovery. Do you think they are dumb enough to have gotten rid of all their lands as well? Because they've discarded a lot of lands so far. Assassin's Trophy is nice. Alright, so... Nissa... Yeah, Assassin's Trophy is huge here. Trying to think of which one they're going to go for. Sheoldred would be cool for them. So yeah, we're going to try to Assassin's Trophy as soon as they get anything. So I'm guessing land into some sort of reanimation spell. They don't have anything? What? Okay. Sweet. Okay. Ethless looting. I mean, man, they have found all of the other stuff here. I do like this version of the reanimation. They're getting way more stuff into the graveyard than my version that I did the other day. So yeah, I like it. Why in the world would I tap down the Overgrown Tomb? You gotta be kidding me. Wait, no. This one. Alright, draw with Professor Onyx.
The essence of life is inseparable from the essence.
Dig for the Bolas' Citadel, or go for Vito, which we have enough mana to let us play out other stuff. So let's go play out the swamp.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Attack in. Vito. Pass the turn. All right, so we can give our stuff lifelink on the next turn, which does give us lethal. So they have the reanimation spell. We get to Assassin's Trophy, anything. Brings back Shieldred. We Assassin's Trophy. That should be game. Sweet. All right, so go black mana. Yeah. Yep. That's actually a little awkward. We didn't have enough black mana to do double black without tapping this one down, but we still had lethal, so good games. All right, so we went 3 and 2, and I did change up this deck a lot. You can see 63 cards. I was like, I want Culling Rituals, but I need to have numbers of everything else to still make it work. So I ended up just adding a land and up to 25. So it did feel a little bit funky in the last games, but I won more of those last games. So yeah, 3 and 5 altogether because I didn't end up showing the first 3 games. They were pretty awful. Just didn't find anything. It was just like I had a bunch of hands full of ramp, and then I would literally find all lands the entire game. Just like, okay, we're dead. That kind of thing just kept happening, and it was really annoying. So this deck, Bolas' Citadel, was very elusive, way too elusive for us to make any sense of how that was working. Ways that we can make that work a little bit better. Trash for Treasure just came out in Historic Anthology 5. 3 mana as additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice an artifact, and return target artifact from your graveyard to the battlefield. Using that to get Bolas' Citadel actually might be pretty good. And then you could also play like Ichor Wellspring, which just came as well. Where enters the battlefield, draw a card, and then when it sacrifice, draws a card as well. So you can use that with the Trash or Treasure to be able to draw some cards, which could be nice. We also have Pestilent Cauldron. I'm just saying, the issue with Trash or Treasure is then you have to have things to draw with. At the same time, though, there are some ways to use Bolas' Citadel to make sure that we are hitting things off the top of our deck over and over and over again to make sure that we cast more spells. And you can storm off a lot of different ways. You can go like the Cheerios version where you play a bunch of just like 0 costed or free spells, like Mox Ambers and Ornithopters or whatever, and play the 4 mana thing in artifacts that lets you kind of go off. Anyway, going into red, if we did go for Trash or Treasure as well, could also bring in Grape Shot, which is another storm spell. And again, I don't think that these storm spells, there's not a way to consistently storm off in Historic right now where you can go for 20 points of damage with this. Maybe 15 or something like that is potentially possible, but you're not going to win that way often. But if you have something like a Professor Onyx out there, or we could go for something a little bit easier and go for Witherbloom Apprentice, which is 1 less damage, but at the same time, though, like, that only means you need 10 spells, or casting anything along the way helps you get there. So maybe just going for Witherbloom Apprentice instead is better. Having Vito to kind of combo off there as well. And then running things like Bond of Flourishing, running things like, the things that gain you life along the way as well. Tendrils of Agony, and then Weather the Storm can end up, as we saw, gains tons of life. And just Weather the Storm with Vito by itself was actually pretty good. So maybe just more copies of that. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is I was trying to go for the fun combo of Bolas' Citadel and make it work. We could not find Bolas' Citadel, and the 1 or 2 times that we did, we found all lands off the top, like every time. It was just very frustrating, very, very frustrating, and that made me very angry. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, and bye bye.